So at the end of today, I'm going to ask that each of you send me an email that just says, this is my favorite thing I got from today, my biggest learning. So you can send that along with which small group you want to be part of. And in those small groups, we'll really be holding each other accountable. We'll be working on things that maybe you're having a little bit of a struggle with. We'll be sharing your successes, and it'll really give me a chance to get to know you. And so for those of you that don't know me, I've met some of you and some of I haven't. I'm so excited about this group. When I look at all the future leaders and new leaders that we have taking part in this, we're gonna need time together, because our goal is, honestly, if you're not a leader right now, don't let this scare you, but we want to get you there by the end of this month, the end of November, the latest. How many of you, by show of hands, want to go to Maui? Okay, well, listen, one of the easiest ways to get there is by being a leader and getting that promotion. The other thing that I need to ask you to do is I need to ask you right now to trust me. I know some of you don't know me from Adam, and by the way, I have some weird sayings. I have all kinds of little goofy little sayings and things, and I'm very Southern sometimes. So just bear with me if you're not from that part of the country. You may not even know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I need you to trust that I'm not going to ask you or direct you to do anything that would ever hurt your business. It would be silly for me to give you any suggestions that aren't going to do anything but grow your business. Don't you guys agree? That'd be like a coach telling a quarterback to throw the wrong play on purpose. Everything I'm going to share with you. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable to you. We'll probably all be stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit to do things that don't come natural. But doing those things, I can remember my mentor asking me to do something one time, and I literally broke into tears. And it was so silly, because you know what it was like to go, we were going to try this new kind of kid idea. And I was so sad, and I loved the old way so much. And the funny thing was, she got me on the phone and an old timer. And she thought I was going to be the one to embrace it, and the old timer was going to say no way. And we had completely different results. I was just like, no, I don't want to do it. It doesn't make sense. And she said, I'm going to ask you just to do it right now. And you know, I got off the phone. I did what she told me to do. And that took me to a whole different level in my business. And I literally was in tears, as silly as that may sound, over offering the business in a different way. But because I was having success, I didn't want to make any changes. But by listening to her and seeing what had happened, it actually took me to the next level. So, but we'll also, there are some things that you just may say, there's no way in this world I could do that. When I'm talking about that, it might be like going to a store and talking to the cashier. I'm not talking about doing anything like really scary, like jumping off a building or anything. I'm talking about just things that might not be in your wheelhouse of your comfort level. Oh, but I'm going to ask you to trust me. And my motto when I was brand new in the industry 26 years ago was do it afraid. Just do it afraid. You know, Nike says just do it. Well, for me, if I was able to just do it on the things that were of comfort to me, but the comfort things aren't normally what grow our businesses, right? We have anybody, if you talk to anybody that has a super inspirational story or anybody that has made great things happen, have you ever heard a story where they tell it that they didn't have to get out of their comfort zone? Everybody, no matter who you are, whether you're an Olympic swimmer or athlete, or whether you're a professional ball player, or whether you're a businessman like a Donald Trump, everyone has to get out of their way, and we all have to do things out of our comfort zone. So I'm going to ask you right now, I'm just going to be honest, if you can't trust me, there's no use in doing this call. And I promise, I swear, I have a very strong Christian background. I swear on whatever you swear on when you're a Christian, that I will not do anything to lead you astray, but it might not be comfortable. Okay? We're going to have a motto in here called Me Plus 3. And how many of you, if you knew that you could make $1 million, and now in 5 years would be willing to try to get at it without having to work 24/7, 7 days a week, would be willing to get out of your comfort zone? Right? We got to think about that every day. So I want you to write these words down. If it's my intention to, and leave a blank. We'll be talking about this when we talk about goals. If it's my intention to, blank, and all of you will have a different one, where is my daily attention? And your daily attention needs to be something that goes towards your goal every day. So many, many years ago, the first time I was working, for those of you that don't know me, my background was with that plastic bowl company that many of you have, you know, running around in your kitchen right now. I wanted to be #1 in the nation, and I wanted it so hard. And that's a hard goal because you don't know what everybody else around you is doing. But instead, I had to set a really big number and hope that no one else did that big of a number. And so I had it, and I just wrote it on yellow legal pad. You'll learn like I'm the queen of yellow legal pads. See, there's here one right here. Here's where I took roll for you guys. I'm like, live by the yellow legal pad still today. I had it written on my desk on a piece of paper, stuck on my credenza, and it said, when I sat down, I read it every day. It's my intention to. So for about 6 months, it said, it's my intention to be #1 in the nation. Where's my daily attention? So during that day, I knew I needed to be doing something. Was it booking more parties? Was it recruiting more chocolatiers? Was it training more? Was it developing a new leader? But every day, I needed to be doing something towards my intention. I needed to give it my attention, and everything else would fall into place. So I want you to keep that in mind. If your intention is to earn Maui, then you need to be doing something every day in your business that gets you towards Maui. If your intention is to make a 6-figure income and within the next year, you need to be doing something every day towards that. And the easiest way for me to look at that is to break it down. So our motto is going to be me plus 3. Okay, just write down me plus 3. So me plus 3 parties a week. That'll get you to most anything you want. It'll get you to the 6-figure income. It'll get you to Maui. It would get you, honestly, probably to $1 million income in 5 years if you never took your eye off it. Me plus 3. 3 parties every week. Me plus 3 cocoa chats. Why do I put the me in front of it? Because as one very wise woman told me once, I don't even know her. She didn't even end up joining our business, but I told her I was stealing this from her. She said, I always tell my new recruits that there's one thing that doesn't come in their kit that they're really going to need in this business. There is no magic fairy dust, but the one thing that doesn't come in the kit is you. You've got to do it. It doesn't matter how great our product, our kit, our host plan, our recruiting bonuses are. You are the magic fairy dust. So me plus 3 cocoa chats a week. So if you're holding 3 parties, it's going to be pretty easy to do 3 cocoa chats. Because next week when we talk about host coaching, I'm going to show you a super simple way to be able to get every single or almost every single host to agree to have a cocoa chat. That doesn't mean they're all going to say yes, but I'm going to give you a tool. Because this is a numbers game. Me plus 3 personal recruits a month. Every month, 3 personal recruits, sometimes more, but never less. If you're talking to 12 people a month about the business opportunity at a minimum, 3 is pretty easy to get 3 if you're doing it the right way. Me plus 3 new leaders a quarter. I'm going to go really big. I got going, wait, I didn't have my first party or my first recruit. I'm just taking you through it. Don't let it scare you, okay? Me plus 3 leaders a quarter. If you're bringing in 3 new chocolatiers, 9 new chocolatiers personally every month, about a third of them will become a leader. Okay? Me plus 3 new managers every 6 months. So if you have 3 managers, 6 managers a year, you're going to be a director in your first year with a cushion, and you're going to start to develop. And then the last thing is me plus teaching 3 to do the same. So of those, all of those people you brought in, it'll boil down to those managers. Out of the 6, teaching 3 to do the same thing you do. So our motto is me plus 3. Make sure you know that and you can see that and you remember that every day. All right, And I didn't bring my glasses in here, so I'm going to have to hold my book way out here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop, though. So these are the things that we want you to focus on. And I want you just every day when you're a little scared, when there's something I ask you to do, you're going, I don't know about that. You know what? That's uncomfortable to me. I don't really want to go ask that person, or maybe it's a doctor and you think, oh, I can't talk to them. They're a doctor. I want y'all to know my OBGYN is in a direct sell party plan company. Somebody asked her. And I talked to her, but she's actually had parties for me too. And back when I was with Tupperware, she did one in our office. And I asked her why she decided to join. She goes, well, when I quit being a doctor, I quit being a doctor. I can do this for the rest of my life. And I'm building a legacy. And I just thought that was so cool. I have a lawyer on my team. She was a big-time lawyer. No, she did not make on my team what she was making a lawyer, because she only did it for 2 years. But when her son was 2 years old, she decided, you know what? I'm tired of being gone 60 and 70 hours a week and my head being wrapped around a case. When I'm at home, she was actually a litigator. And she took 2 years off. And she had a very successful Tupperware business. And it gave her the 2 years she wanted to be with her son. Yeah, I was sad to lose her, but I was really thankful for the 2 years I got her. It really did wonders in the people she brought into my team. No one's off limits in this business. And I just want you to ask, if there was $1 million pot at the end, what would I do different? Because sometimes we get in our own way. I don't know. And I asked them the other day, I said, if I was going to give you $1 million bonus at the end of this month, if you recruited 6 people, do you think you could recruit 6 people? What's the answer, ladies? I think we're all ladies. Yes. Well, what's the difference? If you can do it just thinking there's $1 million pot, what's the difference than if there's not $1 million pot? It's all about your motivation, right? So we've got to know what our motivation is, and that's where our goals will come in. So part of your homework this week, this is probably, by the way, the heaviest week of external homework that you'll have, is to make a goal board or a goal visual. You can do it. I like the hard copy kind. That's me. I'm still old school. I'm still cut and paste and use my glue stick. But some of you, there's all kind of digital ones out there you can do these days. But I want you to dream. What would you have? And I want you to take, what do you want? What do you want kind of in the next month? So I'm just going to give you some examples of what I mean by that. So for me, when I joined the business 26 years ago, I joined because we needed to make a car payment. And we needed money. I have no fun, really cool reason for joining, except we needed to keep the one car we had, and we needed to make some more money to get a second one. We just moved from Canada to Texas, didn't know anyone, and I was a stranded homemaker because my husband, my first marriage, he was in the restaurant business, and I couldn't go pick him up at 3 in the morning to have the car because I had 3 kids under the age of 5. But we were going to lose that car if we didn't make the payment, and we needed a second car. So that's what I wanted. I'm going to be honest with you guys, to this very day, money does not motivate. Paying bills does not motivate me. And I know that. But the extras do, so I would have things that would motivate me, like I want to get my nails done every 2 weeks. But I have to pay my bills first. So if I want to really get my nails done, I had to hold enough parties to make that car payment, and then eventually put away for another car payment, and then I could get my nails done. So that $50 in nails back then was probably $25. I think they've gone down and up and around. The $25 is what drove me. It was getting my nails done. It was that benefit. 1 year it was getting season passes to Six Flags for our family. And the next year was Six Flags and Hurricane Harbor. As my business grew, of course, my goals got bigger. 1 year, I actually paid for 2 Sea-Doos, like jet skis, cash, $22,000. I went in and wrote a check for it. It was so cool. That was what. Now, for those of you that don't know, direct sales has been the only form of income in my home for 23 out of the last 26 years. And we've lived a pretty darn good life and seen a lot of the world. So when I say I was able to buy that, I didn't have another income coming in. My husband lost his job 2 years into my business and never got another one. We just started building. Then I got divorced 10 years ago, something like that. And only until just 2 years ago, our income was strictly direct selling income. So I want you to know, I bought 2 Sea-Doos because Mike was making a big income over here and I just got to save that money. I have to pay our electric bill and our house payment and our car payments and all that other stuff too. My boys played hockey. In Texas, we say, mamas don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. For those of you that don't know about hockey, I say, mama, don't let your babies grow up to be goalies. Leslie played at a very high level. His lead pads every year, $1,100. New helmets, $400. Chest protector, $450. You know, skates. He probably had to buy 2-3 sticks at $60 a month each. The 2 to 3 sticks because he'd break them. It wasn't a cheap sport. So I had to make a lot of money. So when I bought those Sea-Doos, that was my bonus money. You can have that. So I want you to dream. I want you to think about short term. Is it nails, hair, paying your phone bill, whatever. And you know what? Never on my dream board did I have paying my bills because that wasn't a dream to me. It was absolutely no fun. I just knew it was a reality. So everything I wanted above my bills, I had to pay my bills first. And then I want you to think out a little further and a little further. And sometimes you're going to learn that. I remember one time I wanted this new dining room set really, 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 really bad. And I worked super hard to earn this dining room set. And then by the time I earned it, I decided the one I had was good enough. And then I never even got it. But it took that one to drive me. And then I just took that money and did something else with it. But if I had just said I want $500 or $5,000, that wouldn't have done it. You've got to know what you want. I call it your burning desire. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. So some of you may be at a job that you absolutely hate. Anybody in that situation? Maybe you can't raise your hand if you're there right now. But maybe that's your burning desire, is to get out of that job. Maybe your goal is to stay home with your kids. Maybe your goal is to get away from them a little more. I can tell you there were many nights I had a party, I was like, Calgon, take me away. Get me out of here. So now it's chocolate, take me away, right? So I want you to make a dream board and just think about and keep it in front of you. And don't give up on your dreams, ladies. There is no dream too big or too small. Zig Ziglar says there's nothing too big or too small. You just may have the wrong timeline around it. So one thing you'll learn about me is I used to be a skinny mini, and I loved being a skinny mini. And now I'm fat and happy. And I want to be a skinny mini again. And so I never give up on that. However, I don't always stick to it, but I always come back to it. I carry out there, I'll have to show y'all, it's my briefcase over there, and I can't get to it right now. I carry a picture of me around as a skinny mini. And in my best shape ever when I turned 40. And it's my reminder, don't give up, Lori. Doesn't mean it's never going to happen. And sometimes it's just the timeline or the time frame, or I'm not ready to make the sacrifices that I have to make to do it. But I know I can do it. Now, here's another thing. Don't put something on there you know you're not going to work for. I used to always say I want to be a runner. My husband runs. My bonus kids run. My son-in-law runs. But I want to have much fun to be a runner with them. I realized about 3 months ago, I don't want to be a runner. I'm not willing to do what it takes to be a runner. I've tried it. I tried it for 2 years. My knees hurt. My body hurt. I hated every moment of it. I never got into that groove that they say you get into where it's just you're running and feels so great and it's euphoric. Never did I feel euphoric running, okay? I just had to tell myself the other day, it's okay not to be a runner. Yes, you want the body of a runner, but you're not willing to ache. The sacrifices is bigger than I'm willing to make. And I'm okay with that now. So running will never be on a dream board ever again in my entire life. But I have to tell you, it was really freeing to know I could let that go. Now, skinny mini, I'm not letting go. Now, let's say I wanted to lose 45 pounds by Thanksgiving. That's when the timeline's wrong. Okay? I might could lose it by the time we go to Maui. But you've got to look. So no dream, no goal is wrong. Just sometimes the timeline is. So keep that in mind, okay? Anybody? Well, if I start taking questions, we're already only in 30 minutes and I'm already behind. So we're going to keep going here. So make your dream board. And I want to share, be ready to share in our short-term call. How what you're seeing in that, what you realize you really want. Go through some magazines, walk out in your yard, look at old pictures, think about people you admire their lifestyle. That was a real big thing to me. Lifestyle is a big thing on my dream board. It's not as much in this part of my life about material things. It's more about lifestyle. As my kids are grown, I want time with my grandbabies. I want time with my kids. I want time with my husband. I want time for Laurie, which I never had when my children were young, or I never made time for. Lifestyle is very important. One thing that I am going to be doing is I'm going to be sending you guys a booking video that I did. It's pretty. There's 2 of them, I think, that you can look at your leisure, because we don't have time to spend. I normally drag this one out actually over 2 hour-and-a-half classes, this first chapter. I'm really committed to staying focused to you guys. But we are going to talk a little bit about booking now, and then I'll send you some details. So one thing that on page, and I'm going really fast, page 10, you'll go to the part where it says kicking off your party with a power statement. This is really important. So when I've been through, some of you may know this, some may not, but I'm actually a certified business coach and trainer. And one of the things that I was taught very early in my career, even before I went to business coach school, was when you're training, you tell people what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you've told them. You kind of give them an overview, break it down a little, and then summarize it. Well, it's really important when we think about our parties, in some ways they are a training for our guests. We're giving them tips and facts about how to use our products, how to make the best of it. We're giving them training on how they can maximize our host program and get free products. We're training them on how to offer the business opportunity even when we're offering it. We're training people in the room that are going to someday be part of our team. So our power statement is kind of like that opening to your training. Your power statement is going to set the stage so people know what to expect. So when you go to a party, you want people to be anticipating things. So think of your power statement as your big anticipation builder. So you want to tell them who you are. You want to welcome and, of course, thank people. But then you want to tell them what to expect during their experience. So they're not sitting there wondering, is she going to do this? Is this almost over? How much more is she going to do? Tell them. So my power statement would sound something like this. I hadn't even read this recently, but this is truly what my power statement would sound like if I was starting a party. And let's say Rebecca Graham was my host. So I would come in and say, hi, I want to welcome you all to our Dove Chocolate Discoveries parties. How many of you, this is your first, Dove Chocolate Discovery parties? Do we have any virgins in the room? So asking a little question here to get some response. Yes. Well, I am so glad you're here, and I'm even more excited that Rebecca invited me into her house to meet all of you, because without hosts like Rebecca, you would have never had this experience. So let's give Rebecca a big round of applause. Making my host feel good, right? And so what I wanted to let you know tonight is first off, I want you to know we are going to have fun. You're going to learn some new things. Hopefully you're going to share some good things. You're going to try some of the most fabulous products. Your taste buds are going to be dancing tonight. You're going to hear about the best host rewards program that Rebecca is going to be taking part in this evening and getting tons of free and discounted chocolate. In fact, it's my goal for every single one of you here when you host a party is to get everything you want, either free or half price or discounted. How does that sound to everyone? Because that's what's going to happen for Rebecca. And so you're going to be hearing about that. And then you're also going to hear about what I believe is the best part of our business, and that's how you can do what I do and go into people's homes a few times a week, as many or as few as you want, and put smiles on their face by giving them the best chocolate products in the world and just creating an environment for fun. So we're ready to get started. Be thinking about the date that you want to get your friends together and share this awesome experience. So don't be selfish and keep it to yourself. And also how this business could benefit you and your family with some extra income. And I'll tell you more a little later about a trip to Maui. So, do you think everybody now has an idea of what they're about to experience? So I've built some anticipation. I've made having a party sound, the asking, really fun. I've told them what a compliment it is that Rebecca brought me into her home. And you guys ought to be so grateful So everything is about creating that anticipation and giving and building it up to be a wonderful experience. Because if you tell them it's going to be a wonderful experience, if you tell them the product's going to dance on their tongue and their mouths, they're going to experience it better. I always tell people it's kind of like going into a car showroom. And when you walk in, they don't go, oh, here's the keys to that car. I'll tell you about it when you get back. They build up that experience before you ever get in, don't they? Now, when you get in, I want you to like sit back. I want you to feel the leather, your ergonomic seats. It's going to mold right to your back. You put the key in the ignition. It's going to purr like a baby. But man, when you hit that gas, it's going to take off like lightning. Right? So you feel the experience more. You enjoy it more because you know what to expect. So think of your power statement as preparing your guests to enjoy the experience more than they would have thought of. And so there's a place here for each of you to write your own power statement. And I would love for you to send those to me. I love reading them. I can give you feedback. We won't have time to review all of them in our 30-minute calls, but I will promise you this. If you send it to me, I will review it and I'll give you feedback. And then the last thing that in your power statement is end things with questions. You'll see on page 10 it says book with open-ended questions. End as many statements and comments and activities as you can with questions. You have to remember, people don't really, this is going to sound harsh, people don't really care about you, they care about themselves. So when you say this is my favorite product, they don't care. You're not eating it for them. You might say something, who thinks this would be their favorite? Who thinks this sounds like a great flavor blend? Who thinks getting their friends together is really fun? Who doesn't get their friends together often enough? How would you use this? What part of this great flip chart is your favorite? Whether it's on the recruiting side or the host side. In fact, I always have them at the top of their order form on the left, now that we have the flip chart. I don't even use the drawing slip as much as I used to. Have everybody fill out an order form, whether they're, I tell them that's also their drawing slip, so fill it out. If they fill it out, they're more likely to buy. And then on the left corner, I have them write their favorite thing on the front side of the flip chart about booking. What's your favorite benefit of being a host? And on the right side, their favorite benefit of being a chocolatier. I know their go buttons now. I know what they like. I don't have to guess. So ask a lot of questions. So you might even end your power statement with who's ready to get started trying some fabulous flavors. Right? Anticipation building. Who wants to be the first? Who wants to guess how else you could use it? Who has an idea? Think about as many open-ended questions as you can in your demonstration. You're engaging them. You don't want them with a catalog doing this. You lose them. You want them engaged in everything that you're saying. So when you have it this week, in fact, today, if at all possible, since we just talked about it, read the power statement above and then create your own and start practicing it. And start each party with it. Make sure it includes something about the tasting, something about the hosting, and something about recruiting. And end it with a question, and you're probably going to be perfect. Thank your hostess, of course. Again, they don't really, we always say, share your why. It'll come through in there, but sometimes we spend too much time on why we like something, why we do it, instead of finding out why they like it or why they do it. So I might, throughout my thing, say something like, when I started 26 years ago, it was great because it gave me a way to stay home with my children and make a car payment. Rebecca, if you were able to stay home or if you were able to change your career right now, what's something you would look forward to having? I didn't say if you did Dove. I just said, if you were ever to make a change in your life, what's a benefit you would want? She doesn't care why I did it. Maybe she doesn't want to stay home with her kids. Honestly, I wasn't the girl that said I want to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. I needed an outlet. Ashley, do you have a question?
Just real quick on, you said tasting, hosting. What was the third one?
The business opportunity, recruiting.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure.
I know I talk really fast. I'm sorry. But I'm being true to our time. And with that, that's going to lead to the booking. Because now you've set the stage. You know, be thinking about when you want to have a party. I hope you'll pay me the same compliment Rebecca did. As we're going through today, pick out some products you want to buy and some you want to get free. You think of things like that you can ask them, that you're putting thoughts in their head of why they're doing this. And this should happen at least 2 to 3 times in the party about booking and 2 to 3 times in the party about recruiting. Anybody? I can take a couple minute break. I'm looking at my time. If anybody has any questions they want to ask about what we've covered so far. We're going to see if anybody's trying to come off mute. Raise your hand if you're trying to ask a question. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay. So for the goal board that you'd like us to kind of put together, are we looking just short term or are we looking long term?
Do what fits your best. I'm a real, when I do a goal board, personally, I'm kind of all over it. Like I might have a really, really long term, like a picture of a lake house or a beach house. I do think it's important, but I also might have a picture of fingernails because that's, my short term.
Okay.
I might have some interim. I think whatever really suits your soul, honestly. Kind of just go with what you see it feels right, put it on there. You can put the timeline around it at any time.
What about like this month, we have the extra goal of the $25 gift. Would that be okay for something? Because like right now I'm focused on like each 500 to make that 25.
Absolutely. But here's what I want you to know is what are you going to use that, your goal might be not just the target, but what are you using it for? Are you using it for holiday presents, Christmas gifts? Are you looking at something in particular you want to get enough so that you can get a bike for one of your kids or a flat screen TV for your husband? Know what you're going to use them for more than just knowing that you want them. Just like when you'll learn in host coaching, I always ask my host to give me a wish list of $200 worth of free products because I want her to maximize the host plan. I don't just say you're going to get 200. I want her to pick them out. I want her to own each product so she writes down what she wants. Now, of course, she can change it, but $200 in products means nothing. $100 in Target gift cards is nice, but a bicycle is real. $300 in Target gift cards is nice. A 42-inch flat screen is real. And I changed my mind on my dining room set. You may change your mind, but usually it's the thing that's going to drive you in because there's an emotion tied to it. There's not an emotion tied to a gift card. There's an emotion tied to the TV or the bicycle or getting your nails done or the lake house. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Ashley, did that help you? You can just shake if you want.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I had a question, Lori.
Okay.
Okay, so I've only done 2 parties so far, and everyone talks about the power statement. I get in there and people are struggling in, and then people want to get started. So then I just kind of end up rushing through some sort of a power statement, and it feels very unorganized or unproductive, I guess, for the party. So what do you suggest, to keep that from happening?
Well, first off, a lot of that has to do with your hostess coaching that we will really focus on next week. You've got to let your host know, I'm starting on time.
Okay.
Because it's only fair to the people that, if you get there on time, if you wait 20 minutes to wait for other people, you're saying those that aren't here are more important than those of you that are.
Right.
You're also saying that your time's not very valuable. And for a person like me who's very timely, if you did that, I probably wouldn't book a party with you. Because I thought, I don't want her to come into my house and hanging out. We're going to start and finish and be done.
Right.
So start on time. And 3 to 5 minutes, whatever. It doesn't have to be, tell your host if you know your friends are typically late, tell them the party starts 20 minutes before it really does. But then say, what I always say is, you know what, Ashley actually experienced this with me. We had her host say she had a few more people coming, and I said, well, let's go ahead and get started. By the time we go around and meet everyone and get to know them, everybody should be here. And if they're not, then you shouldn't be waiting for them anyway. Okay. And then you share your power statement. And that's going to set the stage, but you've got to command that. Nothing works 100% of the time, by the way.
Right.
And if you've only had 2 parties, you don't have a big, scale to really judge from. But that's why also you want those 3 parties every week. Again, when we leave this call today, say to myself, there's more than I want that 2 parties can't get me. What am I going to do today different to fill up my calendar? Because no one makes big money without holding parties. I'm just
Right.
without holding or having a lot of contacts. I know some of you maybe do this through the internet, and that's great, and I applaud you. I know nothing about it. I know parties, and I'm game for everything. However it makes your business work, maybe run with it. But the easiest way to build relationships is through that party and setting those parameters and those examples. I'm just saying you have to let your host know, and then when it's time, can we start now? Say, you know what? I have it 7:30. We said we're going to start at 7:30 or 6:30 or whatever. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, I know I've got Julie and Melissa. I tell you what, no worries. By the time Julie and Melissa get here, we'll just be wrapping up, the power by getting started and getting to know each other, and we're ready to go. And it just rolls. And if they're not there, it's no problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
It does, because I get very mixed in with the host wanting to wait, and then I get lost in getting started, and the power statement never actually makes its power.
Right. Yeah. No, you've got to take that control, but let them know in host coaching that you're going to be doing that.
Okay.
So we start with a power statement. We end with a full service checkout. There's a really great trainer out there. I haven't heard her in years, but I know she's still out there. Some of you may have listened to some of her stuff, called Eileen Meckley. Anybody ever heard of Eileen Meckley? She was a big recruiter at Discovery Toys, I think. And I love her word choices, and it really ties into what we call our full service checkout. So when someone comes to you, there's 3 things that you should be talking about with every single guest. That's our business opportunity, the booking opportunity, and referrals. And sometimes it feels very uneasy to a lot of people. How am I going to get all that in? That takes a long time. So what I do is I set my host coaching packets right here, my party packs. And I set recruiting brochures to the left of them, because my host packet and my recruiting packet are exactly the same. The only reason I set some recruiting brochures out to the left is to remind me to do it first. The reason my recruiting packet and my host packet are the same is because if I'm doing a Coco chat with you and you say yes, then I want to set your launch date. If you say no, I want to be able to book a party with you anyway. If you're my hostess, you're going to learn next week, I want to give you the recruiting information. I think every host should know. So I need a host pack either way. So mine's one and the same. I have nothing different about it. So my recruiting brochure just as a reminder to me, my host packets, and then a stack of 3x5 cards. They're kind of just sat right next to me in a row on right wherever I'm taking orders. And so let's say that Robin comes up and she brings her order to me, and I would say, Robin, I'm just going to start some small chat. I'm going to look at her order. Did you have fun tonight? Oh, yeah, I had a great time. What was your favorite thing about the party? Was it getting out and meeting friends or trying new products? Just some small chat, to make her build a relationship, make her feel that I care about her, because I do. Maybe talk to her a little bit about an order, try to build the order and that type of thing. And I'll say, Robin, before I totally wrap this up, I always want to provide the best customer service possible. And there's 3 ways I can service you in the future. Do you mind if I just give you real quickly and see, what's the best way for me to start with you? And I have my hand on that recruiting brochure. And I say, Robin, I noticed you're on the right-hand corner of your order form. You wrote that if you could have another business or do something different, flexibility would be so important to you. Tell me Robin, why is flexibility so important to you? And she's going to tell me, and I said, well, Robin, if I could show you and just say 5 to 10 hours a week with complete flexibility, you could turn that into $500 to $1,500 a month. Is that the kind of flexibility you would like? She's probably going to say yes. And I'm going to say, you know what, can you hang around for maybe 10 or 15 minutes after I finish up orders and we can visit, or would you rather set time for us to meet for coffee or get on a phone call? Or usually I just say meet for coffee. I don't offer a phone call until they say no, no, no. So that's my recruiting, right? That's number 1 way I service you. If I can't get her to buy into that, I said the second way I can is by giving you free products. I noticed that on our Host Rewards program, you were really interested that you could get bundles at half price. I don't know if you picked up on it, Robin, but wouldn't bundles free even be better? I can give you bundles free and half price. Oh my gosh, that'd be great. And I know you said you had a great time tonight and learned a lot of new recipes and loved getting out with the girls. When's the last time before this you did something with the girls? Blah, blah, blah. And she'll tell me, 6 months, whatever. Robin, you deserve better than that, don't you think? Well, yeah, of course I do. Well, then let's set up a time for 2 weeks from today and get you together with your friends again. Don't be selfish and keep this great chocolate from them. So that's my second way of servicing is through the party. Whoops. And then the third way is if I still can't get that party book, which I normally have by then, I'm going to say, Robin, I know you said right now is not a good time, but then I could call you back later about a party. But I'm sure you have a couple of friends that you know would just be dying to try this. If you give me their name and phone number, and you'll make a quick phone call to them today or tomorrow morning and let them know I'm going to be calling them, I have this chocolate-covered pretzel for you. And when they book a party with me or join my team, I'm going to turn that into the full-size box for you. I'm just going to ask you to call them and let them know you've recommended them because you know how much they love to cook or bake or entertain or whatever their reason is for giving me that referral. And for everyone they give me, I give them a little gift, and then I say, but when it turns into something else, I'm going to give you the whole box. So it could be a little bag with 2 or 3 cinnamon dusted almonds in it. And you give them the 8-ounce box or use your inexpensive products, okay? You might have even some rub put into one of our little bags. And then they could sample the rub. And they could even choose one thing to take. But the key is that they call that person. So Robin is going to call Mary Jo and say, hey, Mary Jo, I was at this party last night. And they had some things that I know you're going to love. And a gal by the name of Lori I met, she's super cool. She's going to give you a call to tell you about how you can get some free because I really think you would love it. And I can't do it right now, so I thought of you. So now when I call Mary Jo, I'm going to say, hey, Mary Jo, it's Lori. I'm Robin's friend. Did you talk to her? Oh, yeah, she told me you have some really cool products. It's a much friendlier opening. Can't you see that than calling cold? How many of you are old enough to remember the photography company called Olin Mills? Anybody ever remember Olin Mills? You had your church directory made from them. And remember when I used to always ask you for 10 names and numbers? And you always froze at 1 or 2? Ask for 1 or 2. No one thinks in tens. So where Olin Mills missed out was having you call them first. If you would have called and said, oh my gosh, we had some really great pictures taken last night, there's a chance for you to get a free sitting and a free 8x10 or whatever it was they always offer, right? Wouldn't you have been more receptive to the call instead of, hi, this is Susan from Olin Mills, blah, blah, blah. Or call and say, hi, this is Susan. Your friend Brenda Rodner gave me your number and thought you would be interested. Has she talked to you yet? That's a much friendlier opening, isn't it? So that's what we call our full service checkout. And then to make all of this work, I'm sure some of you are sitting there and you may not have 2 to 3 parties on your calendar for every week. And remember, it's me plus 3. Me plus 3. How are you going to get there? Well, you remember earlier in the day when I said I'm not going to teach you, I'm not going to ask you to do anything that would hurt you and you have to trust me? This is where the big trust factor comes in. And it's so silly and so easy. But only the what do they say, the few and the proud, the Marines, make it happen. And I'm being really honest. I can't tell you how many people did not complete this assignment. And I'm just going to say it out loud. It's stupid not to complete it. Because it is going to change your business. This is the magic fairy dust I'm about to give you. And it's called 21 Days to Success. So, what you're to do is you have a little chart in your book, or you can just take out a piece of paper. You're going to start with today's date. You're going to put the date in, and you're going to do 21 straight days. And every day for 21 straight days.
What page is that?
It's on page 14.
Okay. Sorry.
You are going to talk to 3 people a day about your business, either about having a party, or about joining your team. Now, if you have a party, it'll be real easy, won't it, on that day to talk to your 3. If you don't have a party, you may have to get on the phone, you may have to go out to a mall, you may have to go see a friend at the park, whatever you have to. Live conversations that end with a question. Just telling them about it, you have to ask for what you want. So when can we have that? When's a good time? And I want you to remove these words from I want you to write these 2 sentences down and then never say them again. Do you want to have a party? Write it down and put a big X on it. You're never going to say it again. Ever. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And something along the lines of, do you want to join my team or do you want to sell chocolate? Never, ever, ever say those words again. Because here's the thing. They are going to say no even if they want to say yes. 99% of the time. Because just like when your 3-year-old comes up to you at 2:30 in the afternoon and ate all their lunch and there's 3 hours before dinner and they say, Mom, can I have a cookie? Our natural response is to say no. Even though then we'll go, well, yeah, you can. But if we say yes and then try to change it to a no, you get, if your 3-year-old were like my 3-year-old, you said I could, please, Mom, please, So you say no first. Well, most of us aren't a 3-year-old and aren't going to go, please, you said you would, please, So we have to get them. We can't ask a question that's going to lead to no. Just like I was talking earlier when I was talking to Robin. So, Robin, when do you want to get your friends together? Don't you deserve this? Wouldn't it be fun? How soon should you treat yourself to another night? Don't be selfish and keep this to yourself. Oh, you're right. Well, then when would be a good time, a daytime or an evening? A weekday or a weekend, whatever you offer. You're going to get a lot more parties. Same thing with your business opportunity. If you share someone, on a scale of 1 to 10, what I just shared with you, where do you see yourself? 1 being absolutely no way, 10 being where do I sign up, with 5 not being an option. Where do you see yourself? What's one thing that, if anything, is there anything that would hold you back from giving this a try? Questions like that, not do you want to do it? Because you're setting yourself up for no's. Now, you will, some of you may already be there. I don't mind going, well, tell me why you said no. But most of you aren't going to do that. I've been doing it 26 years, so I'm a little more comfortable doing it. Brenda, you might be comfortable doing that. You've been doing this a long time. But most of us haven't been. And so it's easier just to avoid that, right? So you want to ask questions that are going to get them to tell you and get them to say, well, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And you'll learn that in our in the booking videos I'm going to send you. You're going to learn how to say, get them in a yes frame of mind before you ever invite them to the party or the business. Now, if you miss a day, you start over. Start with day 1. And it's okay. Rome wasn't built in a day. You might miss a day. But let me tell you, by the end of this, you should have completed 21. And here's the thing. This is going to change your business. And when you invite people to be part of this and they can say, they hit a slump, and you say, let me tell you something that changed my business. You can't say, I heard about it and you ought to do it if you haven't done it. This 3 people a day. I don't care if you have to get in your car and drive to the gas station, drive to the park, and drive to cleaners. Talk to 3 people. Whatever you have to do. Most of us, I can promise you that 99.9% of you have enough people in your contacts right now that you can talk to 3 a day. Leaving a message is not talking. Sending a text message, an email, a Facebook message is not talking. Talk to them. People want to know you care. You've all heard, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. This is what tells them. Your smile, your face, your eyes. They say your eyes are the gateway to your soul. And it's true. And it's okay if you miss. Just start over. It's okay. But don't not do this. And we're going to talk a lot about this on our weekly calls. Now you're going, man, I'm not signing up for those. No way. But I'm telling you, if you want to change your business, call Jan Estep or find her on Facebook. Ask Michael Friedman. He's another one I know that did a really good job with this. or somebody else I talked to, they all told me this was the thing that they got the most out of. And let me tell you, they're the ones that grew the most in my last Promote with Passion class, more than anyone else, bar none. And I had no clue that at the end of the class, at the end of the 6 weeks, when I asked them to tell me the one thing that changed it, both of them said 21 days to success. So it is exactly 12:30, 1:30. So we are done. I will hang on for a few minutes for those of you that may have a question. But this is the end. So just a quick review. You've got goal boards. You've got 21 days to success. We're going to focus on Me+3, filling up your calendars, your power statement, and using your full service checkout at your parties. You're going to email me your favorite thing from this class, along with if you're going to participate in one of those groups and you haven't done that already. So if you need to run, I'll let you go. If anybody has any questions, I'll sit here for a second and answer those. So thank you, guys. I really enjoyed this. I'm sorry I didn't get to talk to you, but I'm going to let those of you that need to go, go. Rebecca, go ahead.
Okay, so I gave you my dates and times. I was pretty flexible. Are you going to let me know? Because I said what everybody else booked that absolutely had to have something first.
Yeah, like Amy had the exact same thing that you had and did any of the three.
Yeah.
There had some that were definitely Monday, some that were definitely, so I'm going to look and see where I'm going to fill you guys in, and I'll get that out by the end of the week.
Okay.
Thanks for asking a good question.
I had a question. Okay, so you said never say, do you want to have a party, which I'm really bad about. I'm
Okay.
working on it. But I have been able to get, like I had a party last weekend. I said, do you want to have a party? And the person said no. I very quickly said, well, aren't you a teacher? Wouldn't you want to set one up at school? And that turned it to, oh, well, then maybe. So is that okay, something to do?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you can overcome the no, you're just setting yourself for a harder booking.
Right.
Absolutely. If anytime you can, do whatever you can to change that no to a yes. But instead of you, if you could have said, now, don't you teach? Yes. I bet there's a lot of ladies there that love chocolate. Oh my gosh, it's our go-to thing. Man, you want to get your friends together and have them try some of this. They would love it, and you would get a bunch free. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, when would be a good time to get them together? So see the difference in, do you want to have a party? And feeding into those questions that can lead them to see what you're kind of doing is you're showing them, you're getting rid of the obstacles before they can give them to you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Rebecca.
I'm leaving. I was just waving goodbye.
Oh, see ya. Bye-bye. Anybody else have questions, comments, concerns?
Hey, Lori.
Yes.
Can you hear me? It's Katie.
Yes.
My question is, how do I overcome the constant, no, I don't want to have a party. Like, I'm only here for my friend. That's one thing that I got out of the two parties, because I had a really successful October or September, but my October has just completely fallen flat on me, and I can't say I can't. I haven't been able to book a tasting experience yet. I have a couple people that are waiting, that I keep kind of coming back to, hey, do you want to have a tasting? But I have a lot of people that are like, no, I'm just here for my friend. I was just here for my friend. I'm not interested. So how do I overcome that and make a tasting more appealing?
Well, again, you're still saying, do you want to? You're going to have to remove that. So instead, say, did you have fun today? What was your favorite part? Because see, now they can't say, I'm just here for my friend, because they're going to say, I like this about it. Did you enjoy getting out with the girls today? How often do you get to do this? As women, we usually don't treat ourselves to these types of things often enough. Don't you agree? Yes. Well, you know what? Let's fight that cycle. Since you had fun and you agree we don't do that, why don't you set a day, the one to get the free stuff next time? And you can't go, well, I just came here for my friend. Well, I understand you just came here for her to start with. And you just said you had a great time. And what you love the free stuff, it's just most people's number one fear is that no one's going to come. And that's why they don't get parties. So they use that cop-out. So you've got to show them. And you can even say things now, well, I just don't know. So let me ask you this. Are you able to buy every single thing you want today? No. Well, you know what? If you want neither, I bet you everybody else is. So let's set a date. You get the second order, plus you invite a few people that aren't here. And you can get your stuff for free, and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Does that kind of help?
Okay.
So
Yeah, that helps a lot.
when you're calling people, again, even you said it, you may not even realize what you're saying. You see, I'm calling saying, are you ready to have your tasting yet? That's just about the same as, do you want to have a party? Because they're going to say no. So your concept,
Okay.
you know, I remember you saying you wanted to have a tasting.
When?
And oh my gosh, the build up something, then get excited. Oh my gosh, we have free shipping this month on orders over $60. This has never happened in Dove history. And we have these cinnamon, apple, caramel, whatever. And I know your friends are going to want to get on that free shipping. It's going to save them so much money. So build up.
Okay.
When I've got a few dates left, don't act like you put any time either. I've got a few dates left. Would you want to do it if you were to do this on a weekend or an evening or whatever works for you?
Okay.
Okay, give them those choices, but you got to build up why now. Give them a short-term reason. Free shipping's only 2 more weeks.
Okay.
And it's never happened before. It may never happen again. You know, so
Okay.
we want them to see that the immediate and the urgency.
Lori,
Okay.
can I share something with Katie?
Sure.
I have I don't know if y'all can see, but I have 2 calendars. I have a mock calendar that I write every day, almost every day is full. And when I go to a tasting, I highlight a certain, like 2 or 3 days in the month or in the next week, and I make them feel as if I'm so busy that they want on this calendar. And that's how I fill up my calendar in all of my businesses. But it just creates an urgency. It makes them see, oh, wow, there must be something going on with this. A lot of these other people, they don't have to know that there's another one that's not quite as full, but what's in front of them.
Oh, I used to have
You know that-
they didn't know how to assemble for taking a nap, going to the grocery store. I was
Right.
taught the same thing, Mary Jo. That's very smart.
Yeah, yeah. And I
That's
don't,
funny. My husband,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Well,
My husband suggested that last night, and I thought, well, I can't do that. That's cheating. But it's
Well,
really funny that you suggest that.
I used to run a trucking company, and we had 3 and 4 logbooks. That's where I got the idea.
Well, I would tell people, you know, if you go to my husband just found out this morning he's going to have neck surgery. If that surgeon would have said, well, you want to just do it tomorrow? Do you think we would want to go to that neck surgeon? No, he's like, well, the first opportunity I can get you in is November 18th.
Yep.
And that sets, so unfortunately in our society, busy says successful, whether it's true or not. And that's why we do what Mary Jo's talking about.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then before I go, can I share something with Ashley real quick?
Sure.
She had mentioned wanting to sell to a teacher, and I actually have my daughter's teacher set up for a basket party for the Teacher's Lounge. So I don't know if you're part of the SS Happy Chocoholics page, but you can find Rochelle Powers on there is a person who set me up with the idea of the basket parties.
What was the,
And it's basically just,
what was
I'm
the-
sorry, what?
What was the name of the group?
It's the SS
See, that's
Fun
a
and Happy
closed
Chocoholics.
That's a closed group because that's a team group. Just look up Rochelle Powers on DCU.
Okay, yeah, Rochelle Powers is a great person. She is my upline, but she does all the ready-to-eat items. Like, she'll choose 2 or 3 ready-to-eat items and put them in a sample bag. And then she'll do everything with nuts separate for allergy purpose. But then she'll kind of give them a sheet that says what everything is in the bag. So they know what they're eating, what they're ordering. But I have the start of like a $400 party from my daughter's school from just the party in a basket type idea. So that might be one way that you could pitch to something to set in the teacher's lounge or something if you had a teacher that wanted to do it.
I might have to tell that to my one of my downline is in the PTA. She's very into it. So I'll tell her about that one definitely for our school and then go for the other ones. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Get that information put on one of the blogs or something that we look at, because I would like to get that in my child's school as well.
The party in a basket?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll talk to Rochelle about that and see if she can't get her information set up. She has a pretty good explanation of her party in a basket, so I will let her know.
Okay, thank you.
She's actually going to be in
You're
this
welcome.
group. I can't remember. Is she going to be in this group or is she moving today? I might think
For Rochelle?
yeah, I might be thinking of somebody else.
Rochelle just went to the leadership training, so I don't know if she's
Okay, let me.
if
I'll
she's
check it out. I
in.
might be given the wrong name because I get her and another
Okay.
girl confused even because they look alike to me. So.
She's Rochelle Elise Powers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, everyone. Anything else before we wrap up? And don't forget to sign up and send me your emails and that kind of thing. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. See you next Thursday, or no, Monday.
I'll talk to some of you Monday, some Tuesday, some Wednesday.
Just let me know.
Okay. We'll see you then. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.